Hey everybody, welcome back to Might and Magic 6, I'm Chrysantheme, let's go! So this episode we're going to be clearing a bunch of goblin camps and possibly finishing a quest. First things first though, I want to go and rest a bit because I have low hit points. What I did now was rested and then just cancel the animation. You still get the health as you can see and you still start the day at 5 AM, just as you would normally if you let that animation go through. But now I have full hit points. I could really use a bow though. I totally forgot in my excitement to buy a bow in Castle Iron Fist. So I'm gonna go to Castle Iron Fist because there's a specialized shop that sells bows only. Here it is. I could have done that earlier in like episode 2 when I was gearing up. It would have been good. But we can do it now as well. So first things first, this is the best bow that we can buy in this shop, and it's really good because they have it. It has the most damage, it has the most chance to hit, so I'm gonna buy one of these. We have one crossbow. These elven bows are better than the normal ones, and as a rule of thumb, the bows are always better than the crossbows. So I'm also gonna buy one longbow. And then who has the most accuracy? Naturally the archer, so I'm going to give the precision bow to her. I'm going to give the elven bow to my paladin, and another elven bow goes to my sorcerer, and another longbow goes to my cleric. I'm just going to go ahead and equip this. Okay. Sell these. Because it's a weapon shop, you can sell all kinds of weapons to them. I already know how strong they are, and I'm gonna waste time identifying them.
Don't touch the merchandise.
Don't touch the merchandise. You've got it, sir. Should I bind the chainmail? Should I? Ooh, enchanted leather. I am actually gonna buy that leather. That is a good leather armor for our sorcerer. It's gonna last for a long time, and I need as much armor class as I can add on him. Now I would have bought this steel chain armor. The problem is that it is enchanted, and why I say that's a problem. +1 speed is all nice and good, but its value shoots up really high. Now I'd have to spend 1,134 gold pieces for this, and I don't think this is worth it at this moment. I am going to check another store though, possibly get a better sword and maybe a plate armor, or any kind of armor to be honest. Let's go check out the swords first. The Fine Blaze. Thank you, Luke. What do we have here? This is a Pyrokellis. This is a really good sword for this. Ooh, and the Steel Broadsword. Now, I absolutely love the model for this. Like it's I don't know. I just find it very, very appealing. So the difference between the Pirate Cutlass and the Broadsword is that the Broadsword does a little bit more damage but isn't quite as accurate, and the Pirate Cutlass is a little bit more accurate and does a little bit less damage. I'm actually gonna buy both of them and give one to... I'm gonna give the Broadsword to Roderick. There we go. It does have a little less maximum damage, but it has more minimum damage and it has a better chance to hit, as you can see, than the spear. And I'm going to change this sword with the cutlass. It's better because it has more chance to hit. 6 to 12 is perfectly fine in terms of damage. I just want, you know, I want to be able to hit monsters more than damage them at this point. I accidentally sold things with Roderick who doesn't have merchant. Let's see. Serena?
Armor in the land.
Okay, so now we have a chainmail, but it's enchanted, and this is an even worse chainmail armor than the one we were looking at before, and it's even more pricey because it has a quote-unquote stronger enchantment on it. I'll have to spend 2,025 gold pieces on this. I'm not gonna do that. You even have a dragon leather, which is even better than an enchanted leather, but it's also enchanted with electric resistance, and I would have to pay about 4,000 gold for it, which is a no-go. And the gauntlets at this point are just not worth it, in my opinion. And I don't need it that much, to be honest. I was hoping this shop sometimes has plate armors, which is the armor that my paladin is going to wear. Didn't have luck with it. so I didn't buy anything for him. He's just gonna be wearing his shirt in battle. Looks really funny though, like he has socks and green trousers and a green shirt and then he's an elven longbow and a steel broadsword. Yeah. Should we go to the arena? Okay, sure. Let's try and tackle the arena this time. I'm just going to demonstrate how it looks like. I'm going to put it just on the easiest setting. So basically this is the arena. It's open on Sundays. You can travel to it from Iron Fist and Brehaven. And you can only travel there on Sundays. And basically this is how it works. You talk to the arena master. You click on the collect arena award and then you choose a difficulty level. It goes from page to lord, and if I remember correctly, the amount of money you get depends on the difficulty you select. Lord is the hardest, page is the easiest, and I think you get 100 gold per average level of your party for the page, and you get 1000 gold per average level for the Lord difficulty. Now I'm gonna choose the page difficulty because I'm very, very poorly equipped for the Lord difficulty. This is gonna be just fine. I just have some peasants, an apprentice, and as far as I can see, a rat. And that was a bounty hunter, I think. Or a cut horse. Basically the same thing. And some rats. Go. And this is basically it. This is easy. Like I can pick these up, but the arena monsters don't actually have any gold on them, so it doesn't matter. Once you've finished, you know, slaying all the monsters here, go back to him, you collect the arena rewards, and I got 150 gold. Okay, so page difficulty is 50 gold pieces per level, basically. And then just go out and you automatically get booted out into Castle Iron Fist. And it's Monday now, because it took one day to travel to the arena, but it instantly just, you know, teleported me back to Iron Fist for some reason. So let's go back to New Sorpigal, because, you know, that's where we want to be. Okay. So we have 4 bows, and now we're actually very well equipped to tackle the goblin camps, because the goblin camps don't really have, they don't have much ranged units, like the goblin shamans and the goblin kings are ranged units. And if I pause this here, it's a bit pixelated and it's probably really tiny, but I can see only one goblin shaman here, a lot of goblins. But I can easily just stand here and tank through. I can just hold the A key and everybody is just going to shoot their bows. Now I am going to aim at the goblin shamans for this, because I want to get rid of them as soon as possible, or at least make them run. There we go, 1 down, 2 down, excellent. Now we just go and keep on shooting them as they try to approach us. This is how I like using the turn-based combat, because it prevents enemies from running around, and therefore it prevents you from basically missing them with your animations. Oh, there's a Goblin King there. There you go, Goblin King's the red one. You can see the Goblin has less hit points than the Goblin King, although you don't know the numerical value, unless you have a certain item in this game, which is sort of a secret item, but it's not really necessary, to be honest. Mind Magic 7 implemented a skill, which is Identify Monster, which enables you to see the actual numerical value of, let's say, for example, the armor class, the hit points, and the types of attacks that they do, how much damage they deal, which is, I guess, useful if you really want to know those things. But for me, you know, it's enough to know which pointy end of the sword goes into which soft bit of the monster, so... And that's it, we've actually cleared the Goblin Camp. Like I said, having bows is really, really important, because you can conserve on your spell points, and in the beginning your spells aren't really strong, because spells scale with skill very, very strongly. And the later spells are actually extremely powerful. The problem is that in the beginning you don't have the access to those spells, the spells aren't as strong, and you have a very limited amount of spell points. For example, Zoltan could cast... How many cold beams could you cast? Let's see. It costs 2 spell points, you have 34 spell points, so you could cast 17 cold beams, which I guess is fair. But, you know, the cold beam only does 2 to 6 damage, which... I mean, I do more with the bow. I do 7 to 12 damage if I hit, and I tend to hit pretty often, as you can see, because the goblins don't have much of an armor class. Okay, let's loot it. Oh my god, I found a dark hammer, of course, after I bought it. And a small shield.
I don't know.
This is a spell scroll. I'm sure you're gonna identify. Oh, protection. Protection is actually a fairly good potion because it adds 10 to armor class. And 10 armor class in this stage of the game is kind of useful. One more thing we're gonna do. We're gonna examine this cook pot. We found 3 food, and sometimes if you use the character that has the perception skill, like I have on Alexis here, you sometimes also get, you know, rings and things like that from that. I don't know, goblins usually think that, you know, adding rings and things to stews makes them taste better. I'm not so sure.
Got it.
What do we have here? Leather armor, protection, cure poison. This is an extremely important potion at this point. Mace, club, pick up the monies. Nothing left.
Got it.
Ooh, money. So you can see I racked up quite a nice amount of money, and I honestly don't have anything else that I want to buy with them. Maybe I'll go and check out if the armor smith has any good armors that I can buy, perhaps a chainmail for my archer or for my cleric. Or I could actually check if they have any spells that I can buy. Let's check spells. So this is the Guild of Elements. It's the Initiate Guild of Elements. It basically has the lowest level spells possible. It's like levels 1 to 4, I think. It has different spell books. As you can see, there are different books depending on what level the spell is. I think these books are level 1 and 2 spells. These books are level 3 and 4 spells, etc. I think you have 11 different spells per magic skill, and there are basically different groups depending on the book. And of course, stronger spells cost more, they cost more mana and things like that. So this is why it's good to have, for example, a character that has merchant, because if you're using spellcasters, there are, for example, the cleric can learn 5 different magic skills, and each magic skill has 11 spells. And for example, the most basic spell already costs 150 gold pieces if you don't have merchant. Now that quickly racks up. So merchants is really useful to have. But let's see if there's any useful spells that I can buy. Poison spray is a bit better than, for example, cold beam. But it does 2 points of damage plus 1 to 2 per point of skill in water magic. Cold beam only does 2 to 6 damage fixed. However, I only have 1 point of skill in water magic, so it will do like 3 to 4 damage, so it's not useful. And I only have the normal mastery, which means I only have 1 shot. This is a shotgun type spell. When we start using spells, I'll explain more about what shotgun spells are. But for now, let's just check what they have. Magic Arrow, that's an earth magic spell, as you can see underneath the icon. Deadly Swarm. Firebolt. Oh no, this would be good. This would be good if we would have our fire damage leveled up a bit, which is probably going to be the second magic skill that I level with Sultan. Well, right now basically I have everything I need. I have 2 very important spells that I'm going to start using, because there are spells that aid in your adventures in terms of, you know, like they buff you or they heal you, or they're offensive spells, but they're also like miscellaneous spells. I'm going to show you later. Let's just check out the this is the Guild of Self. It has the Spirit, Mind, Body magics. Now what I'm looking for here is possibly this. Healing Touch. Okay, Healing Touch heals 3 to 7 points of damage, which is absolutely worthless. But since I do not have my Paladin using Spirit Arrow, I would like to have him as a backup healer. This is pretty decent. So I'm gonna buy the spell and I'm going to teach Roderick this spell. And healing is basically the same. I'm gonna cast First Aid with Serena on Zoltan, and I'm going to cast Healing Touch with Roderick on himself. My god, he's touching himself to help. God, the images. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention, but you probably noticed, you can also learn magic skills in these things. You can basically learn fire, water and earth magic with the archer, because you can learn those magics, and air and earth. He already knows fire and water, that's why he can't learn them. But at this point it's not really worth getting, to be honest. And the same goes for the Guild of Self. For example, she's only missing the spirit magic, and she could learn the spirit magic, while he's missing the mind and body magic, and he could learn the body magic. Yeah. So next thing we will do is we will try to tackle the dungeon. The first dungeon, actually. There are some more goblin camps, but I'll deal with them later. So join me next episode, guys, when we will be exploring the abandoned temple. Bye!